Why bullying still hurts, and how to finally release it. There is something I want to speak to today that many people carry quietly for years, sometimes decades. It's the experience of being bullied or humiliated, dominated, and the way those moments don't end when the event ends, but lives on in the nervous system as memory, posture, and self-doubt. When I was younger, I was bullied by someone who used sarcasm, laughter, and public ridicule as a way to control the room. At the time, I didn't understand it. It felt foreign, confusing, and deeply personal. What I understand now is that this kind of behavior is rarely about strength. It is almost always an attempt to regulate fear, insecurity, or chaos inside another person by exerting control outside themselves. Now, this doesn't excuse the harm. It doesn't soften what was done. But it does change the meaning. When we don't understand this, the nervous system often collapses inward and concludes, there must be something wrong with me. And that conclusion is what lingers the longest. One of the most important insights I've learned is this. Everything a person does is an attempt to find safety. Even cruelty, even domination, even bullying. That doesn't make it right, but it makes it intelligible. And when something becomes intelligible, it stops owning us. Psychologists who work with bullying and narcissistic abuse often arrive at a similar posture. The most regulating response is not fighting, not arguing or explaining. It is calmly seeing, simply naming, internally or externally. I see what you're doing. Not with anger, not with superiority, just raw clarity. Why does this matter? Because bullying feeds on collapse, emotional confusion, shame, reactivity, or submission. And when you see clearly and remain internally upright, the dynamic loses its fuel. You are no longer colluding with the false story that their behavior defines you. I want to say something very important here. Many of us could not do this at the time. We were young, or exhausted, or grieving, or overwhelmed. Our nervous system did what it had to do to survive. And that was not weakness. That was biology. I learned this again much later in life, on one of the hardest days imaginable. I encountered someone using power and intimidation when I was completely depleted. I collapsed, and for a long time, I wished I had responded differently. Not necessarily to change the outcome, but to preserve my own inner coherence. What I've come to understand is this: the learning does not come too late. you can still give your nervous system what it needed then. You can still reorient the meaning. You can still say calmly and truthfully, I see what was happening. My collapse was exhaustion, not failure. And this is pragmatic presence. It's not dominance, not confrontation, not reactivity, not becoming hardened, but staying real and grounded and self-defining in the presence of threat, even retroactively. If bullying memories still live in you, it doesn't mean you were weak. It means your body never had the chance to understand what was really happening and to stay intact while it happened. The bullying was not a truth about who you were. It was someone else acting out their fear in order to feel safe. And for years, your nervous system may have carried that fear as if it belonged to you. But healing happens when the body finally recognizes that fear was not mine to hold. And in that clarity, the burden drops without needing to relive the pain, fight back, or prove anything.